Welcome back, guys, to another YouTube video here by Glock Productions. My name is Toby, and I'm currently going to be reviewing set 31120 Lego Creator. As you can see, it is a 3-in-1 called the Medieval Castle. It comes with 1,426 pieces, includes 3 minifigures. Sorry I haven't done a YouTube review in a long time, but I'm back here again. Lego YouTube reviews are hopefully going to be coming back more frequently. I'm trying to get back into the Legos. I've been buying Legos, but haven't been building or reviewing recently. I personally have only built one of the 3-in-1. The other two just don't surprise me at all. So in all honesty, I will not be reviewing these aside from the pictures, but we could take a little look into the photos right here. And the first one you can see, it's not too exciting, just like some sort of lighthouse. It doesn't look the cleanest, and then I feel like a lot of pieces are wasted in this bulky catapult. And this set retailed for $99.99, $100 basically, and I just don't feel like this was a good bang for the buck. The top of it does look really nice though, but I just feel like the castle was so much more appealing, and that's what it should have been done. If it was up to me, I think they should have just made this a complete castle set. But I guess kids might like the 3-in-1 changeability and stuff like that. But the castle, because with 3-in-1s, each of the 3 builds have quite a few leftover pieces, more than other sets. And another one, pretty simple. You got a nice pinwheel. Like, that part's pretty cool in this, but once again, a waste of this and this. It's just not too appealing, to be honest. But it's still nice nonetheless. As you can see over here, the side box art, nothing too crazy, and nothing too crazy here. Once you get on the back, you get a better look of everything. Here is the castle. Gonna be diving into the nice review with the nice wheel with the water. It could close up, it could open up. Pretty cool. We'll see some of that functionality later. And like I said, this over here. And the tower, which is pretty cool. I would say this one's probably the worst, because if you're doing a wall already, make it a castle. Okay, now to get into the instruction manual that is included. Obviously a lot thicker, as technically it is 3 sets instruction booklets right here. As you can see a better view of the stuff. It like folds right here. It's just not that appealing, to be honest. It's cool. I would probably buy these both if they were sold separately. Like, this one will probably be like 60, 70, and this would be like 50. But spending $100 and choosing like this and this to build just doesn't really appeal me. Okay, so yeah, then you can see the instruction manual, pretty simple and whatnot. Everything right here, no special stuff included. But yeah, I was just looking into it, and apparently that is the second instruction manual. My original instruction manual with just the castle build, I must have misplaced it, but all instructions are online for free, so you could do that. The minifigures you get at this set, you could actually change a little bit because it is a 3-in-1. But the first minifigure you have right here, they're all pretty simplistic, but they're kind of customizable, as I'll show you in a little. This one's pretty cool. Interesting print right here with a little dirt on his face and whatnot. He comes with a torch, which is nice. Pretty simple, but pretty basic. The next figure you get is a castleman, maybe like an archer. Just with their nice headpiece and whatnot. Very nice. Very good figure overall. I like the blue, because usually they do like red people. And here is the last person, like a guard. And this is where it gets a little bit different. You could exchange their headpieces, and you can make the girl have like the short girl hair, and she could be wearing this top. But for the sake of this set, this is the way they told me to make them, so this is how I will be doing it. But those are the 3 minifigures you get, which is kind of not a lot, to be honest, for $100. If you want to be technical, this is not officially a minifigure, but the skeleton is nice for detail, and as a kid, you could definitely play, as everything about him is posable. But nonetheless, these are pretty good figures. The back printings don't have much, in all honesty. But let's dive right into the set. For this 3-in-1 set, the only extras that are not on the build itself are these 2 things right here. We have a tiny little well. There's no chain. They used to do chains back in the day for older sets, but you can twist this in imaginary. But you have a little frog right there that you can just take off, put them wherever you want. And the bucket can be removed as well. But it looks kind of bad, the well like this. But the well with the bucket does have a nice touch to it. but spinning it just doesn't do anything for you. It's a nice piece just to have to add some depth to your city. And then the main villain for the set is not a minifigure, but it is a buildable dragon. It's very effective for how small it is. It's very detailed. The fire breathing out of the mouth. You can see the orange eyes. Just a very detailed, small build in general. It reminds me of like a 3-in-1 poly bag where you could do like a frog, a dragon, or like a dinosaur, something like that. And then the tail's pretty posable. This one doesn't have a ball joint, but this one is a ball joint. As you can see, it's rotating right here, but this one does not, but just up and down, which is still nice. The wings are ball joints, which are nice, so you get good flapping of the wings and whatnot. And then the legs also ball joints with a simple mechanic right here, and you can just pose him. But I like having him, as you'll see later. I'll probably put him on like since his feet are Lego pieces, you could stud them on to the castle itself, and it'll look really good. And speaking of the castle, let's get straight into that. Okay, so here is the castle. This feels like a good bang for your buck when you're talking about $100. You could hear Daisy in the background. But this is just what I want to be desired. When I look at the other builds, you just don't see much. You can see the NBA playoffs in the background over there. But this set just feels like a good bang for your buck when you rotate it all the way around. You are able to open it up. Just the whole 360 is just very nice. Okay, so now to get into it, as I said, there's not a lot of figures, but there are a lot of buildable animals. The first I want to show into is like a falcon right here. He just comes on this little stand piece. Maybe you could put that on a minifigure and whatnot. Not a lot of pieces, but it does look pretty good, like a falcon or an eagle or something. A nice bird. And birds like being in the sky, so I like putting him up there. There's a nice shield right here. I guess you could take it off and give it to one of your people, but it's meant to be here to represent the castle. And there's nice torches right here. The nice tree, some mushrooms. And the first thing you could do, playability, is you could see this lever right here. Right here. If you twist it, it's going to take these 2 chains and close the drawbridge, drawbridge, which is really nice. It has, like, you can see the water with the moat, and it keeps your castle pretty safe. And it's easy once to go down the other way. You just... Oh, I remember what it is. There's a functionality inside, I believe. Yes. Yes, because it locks pretty well. Okay. The only thing I have bad with the set is, as you can see, just by what I was trying to show you, it breaks apart, but it is meant to do that with these connector pieces. It's meant to be able to, like, go apart and whatnot. Now look at this side. You can see this little wheel right here. It just spins a little bit. Pretty nice. I just like all the different hints of, like, within the walls, there are little buildings right here and right here. It's a good display piece, especially since the other castle, I believe, is like $350. And this is a cheaper way, even though I believe this set is actually, actually, I don't think it's retired. I think it's just sold out a lot of the time. Up here, you can see, like, there's northwest, and all, like, the directions, and there's a bird. Technically, it could be real, but a lot of the times there are fake birds on these pieces. And you can see some dust right here from that I was just collecting. That's why I want to do reviews more so on an earlier time, because it's not dusty. Then down here, you have 3 birds, or chickens. They look very well built. Once again, only a few pieces needed, which is quite fascinating. 2 of the exact same, and then this one's more so probably like a rooster, which is really nice. Spin over here, get the nice tower, and this is a very basic sidewall. Okay, now to show you how to open this up. The first piece I recommend you opening, I believe, is right here. You should. Oh, I'm doing it too soft. Okay, there. Is that how it's supposed to be? How is this supposed to go? That's not right. But it's supposed to go like this, break apart, and whatnot like that. Okay, so then you could open this baby on up. And this is where it starts to get a lot of fun. The only thing bad about this is a lot of structural stuff, but there's not much playability, to be honest. First, as shown on the box, you can see a mouse and a piece of cheese. But I like putting them on the stairs right here because it looks fun. Adds some, like, nice depth. Okay. once again, these are all removable. So you can remove this one here. So let's look into this corner here first. Pretty nice. You got the tower right here. So you could take your Archer minifigure. Oops. But you take your Archer minifigure, put that bow on, and just set him right inside the tower. You can't really take off the roof. It just doesn't make sense, really. And it's a nice room right here. I really like this like shelter piece right here. And for, I guess, another bad guy you could technically have, this is where I kept my skeleton a lot of the time. Open it up right in there. You can actually see there's a cup with some windows and like a little table. But this prisoner has been in here a long time, and he died, and now it's like that. And you can also see this little hole right here would be maybe for like your mouse and whatnot. And a nice little piece of bread, apples and grapes. On the other hand, this piece is not removable. This is always like this, but it just easily clips on like so. And then you have it this right there. Okay. Now to just remove this again, because we don't need it right now. I'm just going to keep chugging along this set. As you can see, like I said, this for bigger sets, you would be getting detail in here, but for a more simplistic set, you're not. You can see up here, you have your towers, just another room, yet another room, and then a downstairs room where you could put like a hallway. But to release the door, you just lift up this lever, and it goes like that. So to close the drawbridge again, you can just go over here. It's pretty cool. Most of the time, it will lock just by pulling this down. And that locks it, which is a really cool function. And to unlock, you could have maybe one of your characters right here for locking and unlocking the door. You just go like that, and then you can bring the drawbridge back down, bring it back up. Really cool function, really, really good. You can see a toilet paper, I believe, right there. On the other hand, you can take this part off right there. And this is my favorite section right here. You get some nice armor, as you could probably put on your minifigure right here. Put the chest plate on and the helmet, which is pretty cool. Other than that, you got a nice blacksmith with a sword right here. Looks really nice. A lot of these 3-in-1s used to have light up bricks, but this one does not, sadly. But there is a chest over here. Inside you have lots of jewels. I love these as kids, so having this is super cool, and you just hide it in there. Pretty cool. Pretty detailed. Yeah, I believe this did, I used to think this did something, but it does not. Yeah, it's pretty just simplistic. You just go down like this. This is like the hammer. Oh, it's to spin the wheel of the hammer. It's pretty, not a best function, but you spin the wheel behind it, and your hammer should fall. And the blue wheel, you can see, move it over. It should pick it up again and let it go down again. There you kind of see it moving and whatnot. Up here, you have like the king's room. Well, there's no king, sadly, or king, queen, but it's just a nice little door right here. Candle, fireplace, and a chair. And then just one last time, the assembly is my biggest gripe with this. It's not that bad. You just connect that piece right there. And if you want to like play with this and not display it, a lot of the times in my room, I'll have it displayed like this on a high shelf. I usually have it on a high shelf like this. That just doesn't feel right. I don't know why. It's like that, but it's fine. So it's like this. Oh, I see. It's like this. There we go. I have a display like this a lot, but a lot of the time it comes janky. But a nice way to display it too would be to pull this one off, but leave the other two attached. That piece always is coming off. You could open it up like such, and you can just flip this whole thing around, and this looks like $100 worth of Legos. When you see it like this, it does not close up, but visually, like you're like, wow, this is a nice castle set. Only for $100 too, and you could just put your figures wherever you please. And then once again, you could have like this over here. And then I usually like having the dragon on this. You can just put the 2 studs right here. Oh, wait. But you just got to get him balanced because he's obviously not meant to, but you can just definitely put him up there. As long as you just get him balanced and whatnot, it should work fine. Just get him balanced. And yeah, he's looking pretty good up there, the dragon. You have a nice set right here. Other than that, good luck trying to buy this from like Lego.com and stuff. You might see it in stores. It's usually sold out and not sort of getting retired. But is it worth $100? Absolutely. I've always wanted a castle. They don't make too many of them, and the ones they do make are very expensive. So getting this one as a visual piece is just super nice. Oop, there goes the dragon. But it's just a fun set to display. Seems like a fun set to play with, and I would totally recommend it. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please comment, like, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in a future video. Peace.